Greetings, fellow engineers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, episode 42, Helve Hammer. A lot of horsetail here. Not a lot of sticks, despite this being like a sticky forest. And you can really see the soil color, the grass color. Everything is really changing with the seasons, too. It's probably one of the biggest remarkable features of this game versus like Minecraft is Minecraft doesn't have seasons. Things are kind of static. They don't change over, your landscape doesn't change over time. You know, it doesn't become barren with the winter or anything like that. Whereas this game, every season really has its, and every biome too, really has its own distinct look, and that look will change. It's something I really appreciate with it. There's a lot of games don't bother with it because it's way more complicated to have trees that can depict like 4 different distinct seasons, deciduous trees and all. It's way easier to just be like, oh, it's always summer all the time, or just to have like, just to remove all the leaves and not actually have them change colors or something like that. Like that's what a lot of games do, is just have like trees either are alive or they're dead, and in the winter they're dead, like visually speaking, and there's nothing in between, where they just remove all the leaf texture as like a shortcut for like, this is what winter looks like. But here you have the real seasons. All right, it's getting dark, and I have a decent stack of sticks now, so that'll get me started. We'll get crafting back home now. Yeah, one of the problems is ooh, hello, turnips. I left my lantern at home, so I don't want to be out here. Oh, fire clay, nice. I need a new source of fire clay close to the base, so that's sweet. Whoa. Yeah, you can see where I live from here. It's pretty cool to the merchant camps. Like if you end up with a really tall wind turbine or windmill, you can spot. Or you just build like ladders into the sky, but you can spot the trader caravans from a long way off because they're illuminated at night. So I bet if I hop up to a high point, put the lantern away. I'm surprised I can't spot one right now. I might not be high enough. But once we have the wind turbine up, that will change. So first thing would be the large gear section. So that is 2 resin in the middle, 5 boards, hammer, chisel, saw, and sticks. So let's collect everything we'll need. There's the saw blade. Chisel and hammer. I already got the sticks. Let's make some pine plank. Grab our resin. Am I missing anything? I think we have it all. And I'm really bad at memorizing this. So hammer, chisel, saw, planks in a 2, 3. Okay, got it. Hammer, chisel, saw, planks, resin, sticks. And the saw blade is getting used up real hard, specifically because it's a copper saw. So that's probably something we're going to need to replace. So this gear section is just part of the larger gear. So the larger gear is a wood axle surrounded by 6 planks with the gear sections on the corners. So let's get an axle made then, which is a raw wood and fat. And I'll probably need to go hunting for more animal fat. So the total amount of planks would be, what, 24? I'd have that. And here is the large gear. So this thing, I put right there. And this large gear is going to run the Helve hammers. So what I'm going to have is this gear will have an angled gear here and run power down to a Helve hammer here, hitting this. And I'll start with 1 Helve hammer because it's going to be way cheaper than doing like 3 at the start. 3 is going to be kind of unaffordable. So I need an angled gear, which is stick. Oh god, this resin, log, fat. And I'll probably need to cast more bronze iron, so I'm going to run out for stuff like saw blades. So I might want to do bronze iron in batches of 2, so that I can cast them into ingots and make them into whatever I need. I'm also getting my first batch of leather in 2 days, just shy of 2 days. Excited by that. So let's grab all of our animal fat so I don't have to keep yoinking it. Animal fat does not expire. Which is nice. So, chisel in the middle, saw on top, hammer top left, 2 sticks, and a log. With resin, fat. That saw blade is gonna die. And then the regular axles as well. So there we have the main power shaft is going to come down from the windmill and feed, I wish I could fly right now, feed to this axle right here, which will transfer power out to a Helve hammer through this axle. And then the plan is to have a second Helve hammer here and a third Helve hammer here. And then an axle come off of this over here to another large gear, which will split down to a pulverizer and a quarry. So that we can have 5 things running off of power, all with transmissions and clutches to be able to turn them on and off at will, which is expensive. I might for the first iteration of this, go without a transmission and clutch, so that we can at least get some mechanical power. But the way these work is the clutches and transmissions can be engaged and disengaged to turn off the things that they're mechanically connected to. What we can do in lieu of that is, like, anytime we want to turn it off, we can just get rid of an axle, and then to build it back once we want the power engaged again. Because I can remove axles, well, now my angled gear is up there, but I can remove axles and put them back as a very crude method of turning things on and off. I'm just too short to fetch that. Just a dumb problem to have. Eventually we'll have, like, you know, ladders and the like to not run into this issue. There we go. Got it. Why even need 3 hammers? I don't necessarily need 3 hammer. I'm just saying that's like meta. The reason for 3 hammers, actually, there is a good reason. It's when you run a bloom, and speaking of which, the meteoric iron ingots are done. When you run a bloom, you want to be able to process that bloom quickly, or you'll have to use fuel to heat the blooms back up. So more hammers means less fuel usage. It actually is very fuel economic to do it that way. So I think the smart play at this point would be maybe getting the Helve hammer instead of the sails. Work on the thing that is going to do mechanical work first, and then once that's built, get the sails up. So I'm going to change the priority to build a Helve hammer. And then once the Helve hammer is built, I'll work on the riggings. So Helve hammer. Let's get a Helve hammer base. So hammer, chisel, 3 planks resin, easy enough. We will also want the hammer itself. The thing I'm trying to remember, I don't think the hammer material matters, but because we're in the Iron Age, I'm probably going to make it out of iron anyway. So let's heat up an ingot of iron to make an iron Helve hammer head. I'll free up some space in my inventory for stuff I don't currently need to be working on. So we have a spare hammer now. Always good to have a spare hammer so that you're not without. So we want the base, the hammer, and then the toggle. And that's going to be an axle, fat, planks, and resin. I don't know how much fat I have left. Yeah, I'm going to need to go hunting for fat. Find some plump animals. Get them killed. Ooh, my flax is ready too, but one thing at a time. I don't want to be wasting coal or charcoal. Oh, I should have heated 2 up. And that means I need to work a bloom. Poorly planned. To be fixed. It's not that hot yet. I still don't even know what to do with these meteoric iron ingots yet. Probably have to decide that. But instead of blooms, they just like smelt straight to ingots, which is kind of... Aww. I wanted to heat that back up. Smelt straight to ingots, which is kind of nice. So now I have meteoric iron ingots that I can use. Yeah, I feel like having it me standing on a half slab like this makes it a little bit easier to see. Until like the projects get real vertical, but the only real vertical projects are the anvil, which I already have, so I don't need to make another one. It'd be so nice to have a hammer do the hammering for me soon. Or sort of soon. It's a process. Tapple, thank you for the sub. This bloom had a lot of extra iron. You know, this might be hot enough. No. Incorrect. Hold on there, charcoal. I have 13 left, plus a little bituminous coal. Hang in there. Forges can't work with peat either. Right, because peat gets up to 900 Celsius, but you can't stick it in the forge. So it's not useful to heat this stuff up. So yeah, it's a big honking hammer here. Done. And that is 4 planks and 4 planks. All right, so we have the base, the hammer, and then we want the toggle. So the toggle is where the mechanical power goes in, and it just kind of like a water hammer, but with, you know, wind powered, and that's an axle, planks, resin, and so I need the axle first, which is just raw wood and fat. All right, and then the toggle. So fat on the bottom, 4 planks on each side, axle in the middle, 4 resin, and a hammer top left. Okay. Very quickly running out of resin and fat. So I definitely don't have the requisite fat in order for more like axles and stuff. But at the very least, I have the Helve hammer pieces that I can now put together. I forget spacing, but the thing is, I can always, the Helve hammer, the pieces you can move. Oh, case in point, toggle's facing the wrong way. It's been a while since I built one of these. And that's backwards too. Because it's been a while, it shows. Nope, spaced wrong, as you can tell. That's not going to reach the anvil. So I'll have to move everything 1 unit closer. Well, I'm already down here. Might as well change the base. Come on. There we go. So, mechanical power comes into this toggle here from the down here. So I'll feed it into the toggle. And then as it spins, the hammer goes up and down, boom, boom, boom. And we'll work your blooms into ingots and your ingots into plates. That, my friends, is a Helve hammer. And you can have multiple Helve hammers working an anvil, and the more, hammers that are striking, the faster it's being processed. So the reason to have multiples, as I said before, is if you don't want to have to use a lot of fuel to keep heating your blooms up, it helps to have a bunch of hammers striking away so that you can take the freshly processed blooms out of a bloomery and work them on the anvil, turning them into ingots and or plates while they're hot, rather than having to reheat them in a forge. So that's the real benefit. So that's done. And I have like 1 axle left. So that's exactly not where I wanted to place it. So now what I need to do is to start to hook up axles so that there's a continuous powertrain to the toggle on the side using axles and angled axles. The first version of this won't include transmissions or clutches because they're too expensive. Too poor, in other words. Oh, that's full up. So the next one I really need is an angled gear, and that requires lumps of fat. I don't have a lot of time left, so that will be what I'm going to do, like a little hunting with the remaining time, so that I can make more of the powertrain requirements. Share the map seed? That's actually not something I'm going to be doing. Sorry, friend. The risk to me of people spoiling stuff by sharing seeds means that any concurrently running series, I just don't. Unless I, yeah, it's different for like RimWorld where like I can fully explore my home map tile. But for this, you know, if someone was like, dig straight down, you'll find yourself some iron, like, you know, that kind of ruins it for me. So you're gonna have to find your own seed. So hunting, yes. There is a chance for, before I go hunting, I'm gonna make the executive decision to make myself a meteoric iron fox. Because it does more damage. It's attack tier 4. Way up from the attack tier, well, not way up, but up from the attack tier 3 of the tin bronze fox. So it'll do more damage to mine enemies. While I'm heating one of those up, I think I'm going to heat up 2 so that I can also make a meteoric pick. As meteoric picks, there's not like a benefit, but they work fat. Well, maybe I'll make 2 foxes. I'll double the fox. Why not? Because you use them up. You know, my current one has used about a quarter of its durability. They do eventually get used up, and you need to replace them. Or I could do a spearhead. I think the worry of the spearhead is like me losing it by throwing it, and then the very expensive spear going bye-bye. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that is reasonable for me to make out of it. Maybe a shield? You know, meteoric bronze, or meteoric shield. Something like that. Meteoric metal shield. I don't think that there's much of a benefit of meteoric iron shield because of its... It just would have higher durability. So its damage absorption is 5 hit points versus the tin bronze shield that I have now. I don't think the cost benefit outweighs the cost, rather. Right? So its damage absorption is still 5. It's just like more hit points. Yeah, maybe a pick. Have a really nice pick. I like it. As I go through the picks pretty quick. Because these are all the options. I could do an axe. Or shears. You know what? I might go crazy and like make myself meteoric. No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I would say the real benefit of the meteoric stuff is its damage potential, because full suits of iron, or full suits of iron, full suits of armor costs a lot of metals. And I don't have the meteoric metals to produce a full suit. And then also, if your suit breaks, I won't have the materials to repair it. So meteoric iron armor is a bad choice just because it will be... You won't be able to have a suit of it, and it will be very quickly unmaintainable due to cost. Whereas weapons, it will dish out more damage, and you don't need a ton of it for it to be effective. And now I have the blade, and here you can see the side-by-side difference. So, not that I would mind with it for wooden leaves, but its durability went from 450 to 1100, and then its attack power went up a full 1, and then its attack tier went up, so that I can damage things that are tier 4, like bears, more effectively with that, whereas the tin bronze one is less effective. And then the other ingot, I don't have plans for it, so I'm just going to put it away. I think the only reason I put a second ingot on is you can have 2 ingots and a forge at once. And I was like, well, might as well. But if I'm not going to use it. So, hunting. Let's do a little hunting. Like 5 minutes of hunting, which is not much hunting. But I can head... I'm not really sure. So, here's the trick. I probably don't want to kill too many rams, too many sheep around my base. Because if I do want to eventually domesticate them, killing them all off around where I live is going to make it very hard to domesticate them because they won't exist. So, that's probably the easiest thing to hunt for animal fats. So if I'm not hunting them, I'd want to hunt, like, wolves or bears. They're kind of harder to kill. Or boars. Boars would be ideal if I go into the forest and find some boars, because I'm not as interested in domesticating boars, because the benefit of sheep and chickens is for milk and eggs, whereas boars are just for meat and leathers, which is a big deal. I can get those regular hunting. Or just bunnies. Unless, of course, they're fairly plump. But yeah, that body weight's low. I should have brought spears, but yeah, my thinking here is I'm hunting things that want to hunt me back. You know, I'm looking for, like, wolves, really, right now. Or trapped bunnies. Like, this bunny's trapped. But they don't yield a lot of stuff. And there goes my pick. And in my brilliance, I didn't bring a spare. Imagine breaking a bronze pick, like hitting animal bones. I guess I technically just did that, so we don't have to imagine. This is annoying. Now that I want to be attacked by wolves, they're going to be nowhere to be found, right? Or the game's just going to be like, wolves, sorry, we misunderstood. We sent you bears. Might be okay. I'm close enough to home. Oh. Oh, hello. Speaking of which... Hey, buddy. Come on. creature weight good. I could just drown it. You coming to the surface, or are you just gonna drown on me? You fat bear, you. Oh, you're dead. What's up? Was not much effort. All that, and the frickin' bear gave me, like, nothing. Easy, but, yielded basically nothing. One fat, yeah. It was good weight, and it gave me one lump of fat. Good weight. Lies. Well, I think my cough suppressants are wearing off. But lucky for me, it's the end of the stream. My cough suppressants are rated for 4 hours. And it's like they wore off to the minute. It's a good amount of bushmeat. Yeah, I don't want bushmeat, though. I mean, you only get... Jesus. You only get bushmeat from bears ever. Predators give you bushmeat. It's the prey that gives you red meat. Just the way the game set up. But it is did get a lot of bushmeat. Which means it's just gonna be a lot of rot, probably. Oh, sweet. We got more soaked hides. Where did it become leather? The tannin barrels are full. Oops. And there's not enough borax in the barrel to do these large hides. That will have to wait. What's too bad is it's still about a day away before I get my first batch of leather. But I'm just about out of time, so I'm gonna tidy up my own inventory here. But let it be known, I've killed now 2 bears. The first bear I fought more legitimately. This last bear, I definitely cheesed it. Well, not really, I didn't cheese it. It was in the water and I chose to pick the fight because I saw it was vulnerable. I was smart. Fighting bears in the water makes that a lot easier. But yeah, the start of a nice Helve hammer, I'd like to think. And we got the iron anvil and iron tools and meteoric iron faults. So like, quite a lot of progress in terms of technological advancements. For sure. Wait, I thought that had... Yeah, apparently I had 4 servings left. I thought I had 2. Well, guess I'm eating a lot more veggies. My vegetable nutrition is filling up from this cabbage and onion soup. So my max hit points is getting up there. I mean, obviously I haven't fulfilled dairy because I haven't bought milk or tamed sheep. But I'm managing my nutrition. So it's provided I keep my stupid self alive, we're doing pretty good there. And there was one last thing I wanted to do a little bit over time here, which was to tend the farms, because we had some mature flax. Right, buddy? And mature turnips. So we need 3 spots sown there. And none over here. I think this is all... Oh no, all these turnips are good. These turnips are going to turn into flax spots, so I'm excited about that. So the turnip yields are lower because turnips are not good to plant in the summer. In the heat where I live, it's too warm. So turnips are a nitrates. That's fine. But even still, even at like partial yield, it's still a lot of turnips. Okay, so the farm's been turned over and rotated. Nice. And I have even more flax fibers for sales. It's going to work out. I'm basically going to have like a decent amount of flax fibers for sales right around the time that I get the rotor up top made. So it's the timing, everything is going to be perfect, where I'll have the sales when I need the sales. So I have enough for 2 sets of sales, or double length sales now. All right, I am losing the ability to talk, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, which originally streamed live on Twitch December 14th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind for this series I've asked for no spoilers or backseating. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com also has a link to that, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Seraphs,